Hi, I'm Stephanie McLean, and I'm here today with Daniel Hernandez from Miayayos. And he has an awesome shoe company in Miami, and they make these amazing shoes. They're really cool, very Miami-esque, bright colors,
Thank
nice
you.
and comfortable. How did all this get started?
We really actually just stumbled upon it.
Okay.
Here in the States, you could really only find these shoes for, 35, maybe $40. And, we grew up in this really multicultural environment where I know that in Spain, these are only 5, maybe 10 euros.
Right.
So it was very tough for us to go out and spend, a couple $100 every summer on these shoes.
Right.
And I would anyway. So one day I just told my college roommate, this guy I've known for forever, since I was 10 years old, we should start importing these. And hey, maybe we could sell them and make some money out of it too. And it just sort of evolved into this, Miayos.
Oh, interesting. So you guys were just chilling in the dorm room, and then you came up with the concept.
Something like that.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Well, it was an apartment. It wasn't a dorm room.
Got you. Because we're sophisticated
We're
like
so-
that in Miami.
Well, we went to school in Boston actually.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So we wound up in Boston, and we had this apartment, and we were just kicking it one day and said, hey, these shoes are really colorful. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Nobody in the United States has these.
Nice.
And I guess it was springtime maybe.
Oh,
and we were
okay, got
thinking
ya.
bright colors are in, and this whole Miami Vice, Magic City, Mad Men,
Nice.
old school 60s thing is really cool again.
Yeah. That was definitely trending.
And so that was the inspiration for these colors, that sort of time frame, and that time frame specifically in Miami. I mean, it's Miayos.
Interesting.
We branded the whole thing, Miayos.
Got you. Cool. So, did you take a trip to Spain afterwards, or
Yeah.
how did you guys go from that to shoes?
It was a long process.
Okay.
This first spring I was talking about was probably spring of 2009.
Wow. Okay,
Now
so you've been
it's-
at this for quite some time.
Yeah, it's 2013 now, and it took us about 3 years to source the shoes.
Wow.
We
Okay.
tried Chinese sourcing; they couldn't get it right.
Chinese Spanish shoes.
Chinese,
That's inauthentic.
at a time it seemed like a good thing, and then we tried South America; they couldn't get it right.
Oh, okay.
And it was spring 2011 when I just said, forget it.
Right.
My partner was on spring break. I was sitting procrastinating for midterm exams, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to Spain and find a factory.
Okay.
And so it was the middle of the week, sometime in March, and I went and I found our factory.
Perfect.
And so now we're able to make authentic espadrilles made in Spain.
Awesome.
And that's a huge selling point for us. You'll see here, it says "Hecho en España," inspired by Miami. And
That's very cool.
that's sort of our
very
whole mantra.
nifty.
Yeah, we're into it.
Nice. So, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs who are looking to do manufacturing internationally? Did you just go and wing it, or did you find some sort of agency to help you connect with
There's
manufacturers?
there's definitely several ways to go about it. First way is, Google. Just Google away. If you know the country you need a manufacturer in, go for it and just start making a contact list of people you need to talk to. And it happened to us. You'll find that people have exclusive distribution deals in North America. People won't be able to make the model you want. People will want to charge you more than you can afford. I mean, just things that you think of, but you don't really. We like to say that everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
That's the story of entrepreneurship. It never goes exactly as you planned.
We really live by that, and you have to have a plan B and a plan C.
And sometimes a D and an E.
You know what? And we learned that, and sometimes we didn't, and that's why it took us 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a long time. So one way is Google. Just search. Do the due diligence. Another way that I've become very familiar with now, because we're doing so much work internationally, is the U.S. If you go to export.gov.
Okay.
There's these gold key solutions.
Okay.
That embassies and U.S. embassies in other countries can offer. You have to pay for it, but yeah, it's like an agency.
Okay.
And
they'll connect you with
to
manufacturers.
whoever you need.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
Okay,
it's
great.
very cool. It's a very, very cool service that the U.S. government does to sort of promote small business in the States.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's cool. So how did you go from kind of concept to prototype and designing? Are you and your partners
Design
have a
majors?
shoe design
No,
background? Like
no.
how did you guys end up with shoes?
Well, this is actually a really a classic and timeless design. They've been making these shoes in Spain for hundreds of years.
Right.
And if you go anywhere in Europe, this is the summer shoe.
Right.
They don't. The concept of flip flops is non-existent there.
Right.
You know, I don't even like flip flops. You know, I'm
Oh,
sure
they're gonna evict you from Miami.
You know, my toes, I'm sure they're very pretty, but I don't want to show them off. You know,
Got you,
I'm not
okay.
going to buy pedicures. I'm getting
Got
off topic.
you.
I'm getting off topic.
No, it's okay.
But
so for men who don't want to get pedicures, get these.
well, we like to say that they're cooler than a shoe and classier than a sandal.
Guy. Oh,
You
that's a nice slogan. Who came up with that?
I did.
Oh, look at that.
I'm sort of the marketing brains behind
Okay,
it, and
got
my
you.
partner's the numbers guy. I went,
Got you. Okay.
you know, I got through my junior year of high school math class, and I just like cut it
That
out.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it for me. So yeah, it really didn't take much designing. We had a brilliant marketing company get us this logo, and then the same palm tree from the logo is a palm tree embroidered on the shoe.
So what inspired the palm tree?
Actually, if you've ever hired a marketing company before, or anybody that aspires, or I wouldn't say aspires, anybody who goes to hire a marketing company to make a logo, they'll present you one day with 30 logos.
Right, and they'll give you all these options.
And then
okay.
they'll say, pick 10 and come back next week. And
Got
then
you.
go back next week and they say, here's the 10 logos you pick 5 and come back next week. And so you can sleep on it.
Got you.
And this was just this, we thought it represented everything that we wanted the company to represent. Colorful, fun.
Yeah.
And then the palm, you know, what represents Miami more
It
than
looks
a palm?
very Miami. Like as soon as you see the logo, you can tell that it's very tropical. I like it a lot. It's nice.
Thank you.
It looks very Miami, Spain. Lots of colors, very bright. So how did you go about kind of really forming this as a company? And being able to really do this full time from dorm room to this is what you're doing.
It's been a process.
Yeah.
It really has.
Because a lot of people who are in college who are thinking about entrepreneurship, I know a lot of people usually work for somebody, you do the 9-to-5 thing for a while, or people do business plan competitions, or you do the whole friends and family. What strategy did you use? He's like, we're just fabulous and it just happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we're awesome like that.
This doesn't take off my grad school aspirations.
I know, right?
Are way down.
Our way down, right? Law school, med school,
yeah,
MBA programs.
No scholar. I'm no scholar. No, we're pretty much self-funded.
Okay.
And so we scrapped together, you know, the little money we could.
Just did the whole friends and family thing. And
yeah, I mean,
we're committed to doing it full time.
And you know, I don't mean to say that I'm doing this full time. I mean, I am, but there's only so much hours in the day, and there's only so much I can do.
And it is Miami. I mean, there are just so many other priorities.
Don't even get me started with that. No, but you know, it's difficult, and it's a learning experience every day. You know, I can tell you right off the bat that when we first started selling these shoes in September, that, you know, it's very exciting because we have such a large and friends and family network here that we'd be selling shoes every day to everyone we know. And, you know, that I guess you would call it our honeymoon period only lasts so long.
Right.
Because then everyone you know already has a pair. And
Yeah,
then
you can't sell them 25 pairs of...
Yeah, and then you know, the real work starts where you have to start selling to people you don't know.
How is that process treating you?
You know what? It's going pretty well now.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, we were up on fab.com.
Nice. Okay.
That did us very well. Not only did we sell a ton of shoes, it acted sort of as a billboard for us.
Okay. Yeah, that's always good.
So, you know, we get contacted by so-and-so. You know, all these stores, all these big box stores, they monitor these websites to see who's cool, who's the next big thing.
And they also monitor them to see who's buying and kind of what products, what up-and-coming products are being sold. So how were you able to get that placement, if you don't mind my asking?
You know, it's the Miami bubble. You know,
Gotcha.
Somebody who knows somebody who, you know, is a friend of mine, and, you know, a friend of somebody else's, and you know, if I knew, I would tell you. It just
happened organically.
It manifested, yeah.
Right, and sometimes that's the best way, because I think if you're well connected in a city and you know somebody who knows somebody, that whole warm relationship thing is the best.
You know,
Sometimes.
I'm not gonna start like the ages old argument that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right,
but it's a solid combination of both.
Right.
And especially here when there's so much going on, and you're from New York, you can relate. There's just so much going on that it's very easy to get looked over.
Nice.
And we have a great product, and I'm very confident that our quality is high and our pricing is great. But you know, there's tons of products like that.
Yeah, there are.
And you know, it's a sad thing to say, but there's just not space for all these brands. And we're working really hard to make sure that we're one of those brands that make it.
So how did you kind of plan to stay competitive, or did you come up with some sort of strategy about how you're going to be competitive in this space? Because there's so many shoe designers and shoe manufacturers.
I agree.
And there are a lot of high-end brands that are well established.
So many.
And a lot of kind of average, low price point. So where's the sweet spot?
The sweet spot for us, and I think this is huge for any brand, is just differentiation, especially in fashion. I mean, you'll look at us and you'll say, well, you know, this is just an espadrille. Well, you know,
until you turn it over.
Until you turn it over and
see the sole.
This is handmade in Spain. Everything is done in Spain. Everything from the vulcanization, the molds, the embroidery, the factory work. This is made by, a woman. This could take up to 15 minutes to do by hand.
Wow!
Per pair.
Wow!
You know, so when we're putting in an order for 2,000 or 3,000 pairs, you know, it takes a while, and we've met challenges. There's imperfections in the shoes.
Right.
You know, this R5 might not.
Really Essex.
Or the red 5 might not be the same as the yellow 5, and that's just a problem we might run into. Sometimes the stitching will fall apart, and
we're walking outside with no shoes on.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that we're not a high-end shoe.
Right.
You have to look past the fact that it's not a $300 pair of shoe. For $300, you could buy our entire collection.
Right.
In two different sizes.
I know, in 2 different sizes, just in case the 5 is really a 6. But I think you're kind of hitting that market for people who want something that's authentic, want something that's handmade, and they kind of care where their fashion is coming from. Because there's a whole movement now, like the sustainable fashion, and like people who are actually caring, like, okay, yeah, the clothes look awesome, but where did they come from, and how is this impacting the economy and the environment and all of those things. So I think that's a really good space for you. My unsolicited advice. With no knowledge of the shoe marketplace.
I mean, if you're asking what makes us so different from everyone else, we retail at $30 in the States.
Right.
We have our online store. We have a few boutiques here in town that sell for us. And there really isn't a handmade European product that you can buy in the United States for $30.
Right.
Much less, a very fashionable, cool shoe.
Right.
You can buy Italian-made shoes, for $300-$400. But I never want to be in that market.
$500-$600.
Yeah, or exactly. I don't even the Louboutin red-soled shoes for $1,200.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't ever aspire to be like. I want people to wear the shoes. I want to kill the flip-flop. Toes are ugly. I'm sure yours.
My toes are gorgeous. Okay.
No, but it's just. I think it's a casual shoe that you can wear to the beach, and you don't have to go home and change before you go to the bar, for instance.
Right. Are you looking to expand to other markets that are kind of like Miami, that have that whole beach islandy type of...
100%. LA is a great market. Puerto Rico is a great market we're looking into.
San Francisco also, and like the islands are...
The islands
are a good market as well for this, because people who have the beach community...
Sort of year-round,
year-round. Great weather.
So we're totally looking into it. It's very tough for me to say no to any opportunity. I guess it's just sort of the entrepreneurial spirit.
And right.
So unless it's a really, really bad deal, I'm not gonna say no.
No, right.
At this point, we're all about exposure.
Okay, awesome. So what's next?
Keep on struggling. No,
you don't seem like you're struggling. Give me a break.
I'm not starving. As you can see here, we have this studio that was gifted to me this morning.
Okay, awesome.
And we have a lot of people helping us. And the next step is the fall comes around. You can see that we have these bright colors. We launched in the fall, and we had good sales as a startup in the winter with fuchsia and orange and red. not
But
really.
in Miami, it's not like a real winter though. Like I love how everybody's like, it's spring, it's fall. I'm like, the weather's kind of the same. It gets chilly a couple times.
If you live here, you realize that 50 degrees is the equivalent of like a 15 degrees.
Yeah, no, people act like it's like, whoa, we're
wear
like
the
living in
Uggs
Canada and the
and
Uggs
the
and
Russian
the I'm like,
hats,
are
yeah.
you hot? Like I don't understand how
Yeah,
they
but
do
that's
it.
the whole point. You got to be able to wear it.
Yeah.
So come winter, I'd like to, and I'll say it on camera now. I'd like to have a new line of colors.
We're gonna hold you to it.
We'll hold us to it, or you'll hold me to it. This is a playground series.
Okay.
It's very playful. It's inspired by Miami in the 60s and 50s.
Okay.
They used to call Miami the world's playground.
Right.
And so that's what
okay.
inspired this name. And we chose series because, collection is very hoity-toity.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is
a
very.
collection,
You're
it's
not
a series.
trying to be
It's
in
cool,
that
right?
range of like hoity-toity shoes. Okay.
So come winter, hopefully we can do maybe a line with darker colors, maybe maroon, navy,
Nice.
black, purple.
You
And
should
then
get a blue. I think like probably if you get like a nice really
Like a marine
blue,
color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
it
nice
would-
beachy ocean. You're missing the blue one. It's like it's Miami.
The blue one is there. I
Oh,
mean, we
okay.
have all these colors.
Got it,
We
okay.
have 7 colors. We have
Okay.
the 3 you see here, and then everything in our logo. If it's in our logo, except
Oh,
for
you
that
have
ugly
it.
brown.
Okay, got you. Ooh.
It's
Ooh.
not that.
Okay.
So what else you got for me?
So I want to know what advice you have for aspiring entrepreneurs who are in this space, who have the concept and they're trying to actually make their ideas a reality.
I could write a book of how not to start a shoe company. Advice to people who want to start a shoe company and the right things to do. Face-to-face communication is definitely key. If you can afford it, get a plane ticket instead of a cell phone.
Right, right.
Get off your computer and just go. You'll save weeks, if not months, in
Right.
back and forth communication.
Right.
When I went to Spain, we probably could have made it happen just through email. It would have taken at least another 3 or 4 months. You got a time change. The language barrier isn't big for us here. But when we were working in China, that was one of the things that really was terrible for us.
Right.
You have...
You don't speak Mandarin, no?
No, at all.
Didn't learn it in any spare time?
No. You have a language barrier. You have a cultural barrier. The time difference is 13 hours in some places. And it's very taxing. And we had to pay a bit of a premium. We pay the euro. It's 25 cents on the dollar extra.
Yeah.
But to us, it was worth it. We have an authentic shoe now. The turnaround is quicker.
Awesome.
And so I guess my biggest advice is meeting face-to-face with people. It has to be a priority.
Right. Yeah, that human connection, I think, is always priceless. It never fails, really.
Especially in this day and age of social media and Skype and this.
Right.
It's great. It makes everything much easier.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But nothing... I mean, I'm 23 years old. I'm living in this generation, this social media revolution,
And everything is now.
And everything is now.
Personal, yeah.
But a lot goes for face-to-face meetings.
Okay, I think that's great advice, and I think that you're doing really, really well. I'm looking forward to seeing great things from you. Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
No, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great, and I'm Stephanie McLean for Interrupt You TV.
And I'm Daniel Hernandez from Miayayos.